In the previous video, we spent a lot of time learning how to partition a directed line segment. And in this video, we're going to apply that technology to some word problems. So if you haven't seen the previous video yet, you should go back and watch the first video. Okay, Nima lives at the corner of 4th Avenue and 4th Street. So here's Nima right here. And then Bill lives at the corner of 10th Avenue and 6th Street. So here's Bill. Nima and Bill's favorite bakery is located halfway between them. Find the location of the bakery. So we're looking for the point halfway between. There are many ways to do this, but one way is to consider if I wanted to travel from Nima to Bill, if I sort of do a rise and a run, the same way we do a slope, you can see that I would go up 2 and over 6. So that was up 2 and over 6 that I just did. If I want to find the halfway point, I could just do half of both of those motions. So I could start at Nima. Instead of going up 2, I could go up 1. Instead of going over 6, I could go over 3. And then that should be the halfway point. Okay, so looking down, if this is 5th Street and this is 10th Street, this must be 7th Avenue. All right, I have to follow the procedure here. And here we are right at 5th Street. Okay, so this is at the corner of 7th Avenue and 5th Street. So I'm just going to write that down. So there's the answer to number 6. Oh, you know what? I guess they had a space for me to write the answer already. Missed that. So 7th Avenue and 5th Street. All right, I won't make that mistake next time. Okay, Cleve's Cookie Store is at 2nd Avenue and 9th Street. All right, well, they have it labeled for us right there. Let me erase this stuff. Okay, so there's Cleve's Cookies. Dave's door supplier is at 12th Avenue and 14th Street. All right, there's Dave's doors right there. Okay. The post office is 1/5 of the way from Cleve's Cookies to Dave's. Where is the post office? Okay, let's look at the horizontal distance and the vertical distance separately. All right, so let's look at the horizontal. Let's look at the horizontal distance first. So between, if I wanted to go from Cleve to Dave, all right, the horizontal distance would be like this. Okay, what is that? All right, that's 5, 8, 10. All right, the horizontal distance is 10. Okay, so if I go 1/5 of the way, all right, that's going to be my horizontal distance of the post office. Wait, why did I put 1/2? I meant 1/5 of the way. All right, so what's that going to be? That'll just be 2. All right, so that'll be the horizontal position of the post office. Now, okay, so meaning 2 away, maybe I shouldn't put a box around it. Okay, so far I just know that I have to go 2 away horizontally from Cleve. So if I go 2 away from Cleve, okay, that horizontally, that's going to put me here. Okay, boom. All right, so you can see where that is. Let me just do that again. So if I go 2 away, all right, that would put me here, horizontally. Okay, now let's switch it up and look at the vertical situation. Okay, what's going on vertically? So if I wanted to go vertically from Cleves, all right, so I would have to go like this. Okay, how many is that? So that is 5. All right, so the vertical distance is 5. All right, but the post office is 1/5 of the way. So I need to do 1/5 of this, and that'll give me the vertical motion. So 1/5 of 5 is 1. So that tells me I need to go up 1. Okay? So, putting that all together, and maybe this is a better way to do it anyway. So instead of going right 10 and up 5, if I go 1/5 of the way, then I'll go right 2 and up 1. So if I do that, if I go right 2 and up 1, then that puts me right here. This should be the post office. Okay, and so this would be at 4th Avenue and 10th Street. All right, let's erase that and take a look at number 8. Malik and Brad live on 1st Street. Malik at 3rd Avenue and Brad at 18th Avenue. Let's check that out so far. So we got Malik and Brad. Where are these guys? So here's Malik and here's Brad. There's a market between them that is twice as far from Malik's house as it is from Brad's house. Okay? So, we've got Malik's and we've got Brad's. If it's twice as far from Malik's house, then you can think of it this way. For every 1 step you are away from Brad's house, you're going to be 2 steps away from Malik's house. Okay? In that way, you're going to always be twice as far from Malik's house as you are from Brad's house. So, what's the total distance that we're talking about here? In this small model, we're talking about a total of 3 steps. So, that means that if I want to talk about how far I am from Malik's house, it's always going to be 2/3 of the way. All right, 2/3 from Malik. So I'll just put M for Malik. If I want to talk about how far I am from Brad's house, that's always going to be 1/3 of the way. So 1/3 from Brad's house. Now, we need to know what the total distance is between these guys. So what is this total distance? Let's see. I see 10, 13, 15. I see a total distance of 15. Okay, so since the total distance is 15, all right, if I want to know where the market is, I can either go 2/3 of the way from Malik's house or 1/3 of the way from Brad's house. So let's use this one. The store should be 2/3 of the way from Malik's house. So I'm going to do 2/3 times 15, since 15 is the total distance. All right, 2/3 times 15 turns out to be 10. All right, hopefully you can do that in your head, but if you can't, you could put it in a calculator. So we need to go 10 spaces from Malik's house. And that should be 2/3 of the way. So here's Malik's house, and I'm going to go 10 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is where the store should be. Okay, so that's going to be, so this is 13th Avenue. And of course, it is on 1st Street. The farmer's market is located on the corner of 13th Avenue and 1st. Number 9 says, draw a segment connecting Cleve's Cookies to Brad's house. All right, let's check that out. So here's Cleve's Cookies, and here's Brad's house. So let's draw a line connecting those. Okay, there you go. Find a point P that partitions the directed line segment from C to B in a ratio of 3 to 5. So let's start off by figuring out what the fractions need to be. So as soon as I see from 3 to 5, I'm looking at the total. The total here is going to be 8. Now remember, C to B. That means the 3 is how many spaces from C, and the 5 is how many spaces from B. All right, order matters, C to B. The 3 is the C and the 5 is the B. So that means my first fraction, 3/8, all right, tells me how far from C I'm going to go. So the partition will be 3/8 of the way from C. Or if you look at it the other way, 5/8 is how far I have to go from B. So 5/8 of the way from B. So I went ahead and copied those fractions that we came up with so I could use them on this graph more easily. Now here's the key. Because this is a diagonal distance, what I would recommend if I were you is break this up into the horizontal motion and a vertical motion. So for example, if I wanted to travel from Cleve's to Brad's, moving only horizontally and vertically, it might be like this. Okay, if I go horizontally, okay, it would be to here. And then if I go vertically, it's going to be like this. So let's just do them separately. So let's start by asking ourselves, what is this horizontal distance? And then I can either do 3/8 of that, or I can do 5/8 if I want to go from Brad. So, but either way, I need to know the total distance. So what is this total distance? Let's see. In the middle, I know I have 10. And then I see an extra 3, so that's 13. And another 3, so that's 16. So we have a horizontal distance of 16. Now, how about vertically? What do we have going on vertically? Let's see. I see 4 above and 4 below this line. So that's going to be a total of 8. All right, so I have a vertical distance of 8. Okay, so now I'm going to use the fact that I want to go 3/8. I'm going to go ahead and use 3/8 of the way from C. All right, I'm going to do both measurements from C. So horizontally, that means I need to do 3/8 of 16, right? Because I'm going 3/8 of the way. So what is this? Now I know that 8 goes into 16 twice, and 2 times 3 is 6. So I know the answer is going to be 6. But if you did not follow what I just said, then you would rather go 3/8 times 16. And you get 6. All right, so that tells me that horizontally, I need to go 6 away from Cleve's cookies. So if I do that, what's going to happen? Let's see. Let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, so I'm going to go 6 away. So here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So far, that's where I am. All right, but now I need to do the vertical change. So vertically, I'm still going to do 3/8 of the way from C. So vertically, I'm still going to do 3/8 times this vertical distance. Well, I can see that these 8s are going to cancel out, so this answer is simply going to be 3. Again, if you can't see that, then you can just do 3/8 times 8. All right, but I'm hoping you can see that those 8s just cancel each other out. All right, so I get 3. That means vertically, I need to move 3. Now, starting from Cleve's, all right, so that means I'm starting from up high and I'm going downward. Then that's going to look like this. All right, I'm just going to go down 3. Okay, that's going to put me right here. All right, so that turquoise dot should be the location of the, what are we trying to find? I honestly forgot. Oh, we're just finding a point P. So this should be the location of the point that we wanted. So where is this? Okay, so it's going to be on the corner of, let's see, that's 5th Street, so this is 8th Avenue and 6th Street. And that's how it's done. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.